So here's a power twister update. I ordered 10 power twisters from a vendor, and I ended up getting a power twister that I'd never seen before. So now I have 3 different power twisters, and they all look very similar, but they're not the same. And I want to go over the differences between each one. And it's just very difficult right now to have a standard power twister for FMK. But since I ordered 10 of this one power twister, the one that I ordered 10 of might be the standard one. Because now I know which vendor to go to and where to order if I'm looking for more. So there's just all these different ones, and I want to show you which one, all the differences in all of them, and maybe to see which one I think is the hardest one to do, which is kind of hard to determine at this point. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you right now. Look at these power twisters right here. I received 10 of them in the mail, but right now there's 8 of them right there because I took one home, and then I left 9 here, and I got one more I'm gonna pack for Todai Ryan. But this is the one that I got. This might be I'm thinking about this being the standard one because that's where I know which vendor to go to, and as long as they give me the same ones when I order, then this should be the standard. But this right here is the first power twister that I've ordered, the very first one. And this one is clearly the easiest one. This one right here. Now this is the next power twister I ordered, and then I ordered another one on top of that. And pretty much this is a thicker version. This is the power twister number 2 right here. And this is a newer version of the power twister number 2. And this one has been broken in and this one has not. And then those 8 right there are the new ones. Alright, I'm going to go over the differences between each one. So, this is the very first power twister that I ever ordered. This is the one that's the easy one. It's a smaller version. Okay? Now, what you notice is when you bend it, there's nothing in between there. This is just one spring. Okay? This is the easiest one. Alright, the easiest. So meaning, if I grab it from here, you'll see I could bend it relatively pretty easily. Okay? This is power twister number 2, the one that I've been testing with the most recently. This is a thicker version than this one. I don't know if you can see the difference, but it's a thicker version. And it is harder than this one. Okay? So this is power twister number 2, the one that has been broken in. I'm going to grab it from here. I'm going to do a rep. Okay, because it's been broken in, it's not too hard to do it. Okay, this is power twister number 2. Now, this is also power twister number 2, but this one has been bought recently and hasn't been broken in yet. It's still kind of hard to do compared to this one. So, you see, I'll try to do, this is number 2, but this has not been broken in. Let's see how I do from here, grabbing it from the inside, right here. Okay, it's harder, okay? It hasn't really been broken in. Once it breaks in, it's going to turn into the other one. So this is power twister number 2. Now, this is power twister number 3. Now this is interesting. You notice the spring is small like power twister number 1. Here is power twister number 1. They look exactly the same almost. This is number 3, this is number 1. They look the same almost. But there's something unique about power twister number 3 than power twister number 1. Power twister number 3 has an extra spring inside. So this makes a double spring. So here, let me go here, and you can see there's another spring in there. You see that? So there's actually 2 springs here. It's not just one. Power twister number 2, this thicker one, does not have a spring in there. If I bend this here, there's no spring inside. So power twister number 1 and power twister number 2 does not have a spring inside. Power twister number 3 does have a spring inside, an extra spring. Now, which one is the hardest one out of all 3? It depends on which grip you use. But power twister number 2, when you grip it here, it's harder than number 3. It is harder. This is number 3. This is it's easier. But once you start gripping it inside here, it gets really hard. Let's see how I do with that. This is power twist number 3. We'll grip it from the inside. And see if I can do a rep like this. Okay, I was able to do it. Now, the comparison of whether or not this is harder than power twist number 2 it's hard to tell right now. You know, because right now, because it is double springed, I don't know if this is going to stay consistent. It may stay consistent with this strength compared to number 1 or 2 because there is a double spring inside. You know, but I can see right now that fresh out the box, this is a lot easier. But power twist number 2, fresh out the box, grabbing it from here, it's harder. But this is eventually going to wear down and be loose and become just like this one where it's very easy. Okay, so power twister number 3, although compared to number 2, it's not as thick because of that extra spring inside. The quality may be better and may be more consistent. The tension may be consistent even through time because of that extra spring in the inside. Now, the interesting thing is when I try to put it behind my back like this and I try to do it inside, I can't even do a rep. So if I bring you back here, and you see right here, if I try to grab it like this, with my palms facing forward like this, and I try to curl it in, I can't do it. Power twister number 3, I cannot do it. Power twister number 2, I can. Power twister number 1, I can. But number 3, I haven't done it yet. It is very difficult. So, coming from here, this is power twist number 3. I'm trying to go bend it in this position. Well, I can't do it now because I'm rested and I was able to do it. So, I don't know. I really don't know if this is more difficult than power twister number 2. It clearly is more difficult than power twister number 1, but compared to power twister number 2, I don't know. I don't know which one's better. But the fact of the matter is, I got 8 of these now, or actually 10 of these. I got 2 of the power twister number 2s and 1 of the power twister number 1. I'm not going to deal with the power twister number 1, it's just too easy. Power twister number 2, I got 2 of them. The dealer that I found gave me, I got 10 of these. So it may be power twister number 3 that may be the standard for FMK in order for us to test. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to label each power twister to know which one has been used more than another. And I'm going to see whether or not the tension gets easier or if it stays consistent. And what we're going to do, we're going to be using the same power twister to test in order to keep the numbers and the results something more reliable and consistent. But because I've been able to get 10 of these, this is maybe the one that I decide to use for the Kun as the primary power twister for testing. I'm still going to be testing to see which grips are the most difficult and which ones are the easiest. So I'm still testing it out. Okay, so I got grip number 1 here. This is one of the grips. I got a grip here. That's another one. I got a grip here. That's another one. I got a grip back here like this. I got a grip like this, back like this. I got another grip like this. And those are pretty much the main ones that I'm focusing on at the moment. But that's the update for you. And the fact of the matter is, it's an excellent training tool. Recommended for everybody. But as far as keeping the consistency in order to gauge to see who's, where everybody's at, is going to be very difficult because there's so many different power twisters to deal with, and the tension level changes through time for some of them. When you use them more, it gets easier. So it's going to be very difficult to really gauge where you're at, and that's kind of where I'm trying to break it down to figure out the best means in order to create an effective motivational game for us to participate in based on a point system, so that we could continue to motivate each other to get to a high level with this training tool. So this is something I want to update everybody about, and we're going to move forward from here.